Welcome to your English learning adventure. Get ready to listen, learn new words, and have fun practicing English. Before you watch, make sure to subscribe. It tells YouTube you like this content, and they'll recommend it to more people like you. Let's grow together.
Albert Einstein was one of the greatest scientists in history. He had a bright mind and wild hair. He always asked, why? His ideas changed how we understand space, time, energy, and the whole universe. He helped us see the world in a new and amazing way. Albert was born in Germany in 1879. He was a quiet child. He liked to think before he spoke. One day, when he was 5, his father showed him a small compass. The needle moved, but nothing touched it. Albert was surprised. What moves the needle? He thought. He could not see the force, but it was real. From that day, he wanted to learn about invisible forces. At school, Albert was not the best student. The rules were strict. Teachers wanted him to repeat and memorize. Albert liked to imagine and ask questions. He asked many questions, and some teachers did not like that. But at home, he read books about science and math. He built small machines and solved puzzles. At night, he looked at the stars and felt curious about the big, dark sky. When his family moved to Italy, Albert felt more free. He walked in new streets, watched busy markets, and listened to music in the square. He studied by himself. He loved to think alone and take long walks. He dreamed about a future in science. One afternoon, Albert sat by a window. He watched dust move in a ray of sunlight. Why do the tiny dots dance? He wondered. He followed the dots with his eyes and smiled. He liked small questions that opened big doors. Another time, he imagined a strange trip. What if I ride on a beam of light? In his mind, he moved fast, very fast. He asked, what happens to time? What happens to colors? These simple questions became the start of great ideas. Albert studied in Switzerland at a good school. He finished his studies, but it was hard to find a job. He wanted to be a teacher, but schools said no. Days felt long. Money was a problem. Still, he did not give up. Finally, he found a job in a patent office in Bern, Switzerland. He was a clerk. He read papers about new machines. The office was small and quiet. The clock on the wall ticked slowly. The desk was full of papers and stamps. The job was not exciting, but it gave him time to think. Every day after work, Albert walked home. He crossed a bridge over a calm river. He watched the water and thought about time. At night, at his small table, he wrote notes. He drew simple pictures and lines. He made tea, sat in silence, and worked on big questions. On Sundays, he met with a few friends in a small cafe. They talked about music, math, and life. They laughed, argued, and shared ideas. These friendly talks helped Albert shape his thoughts. In 1905, something amazing happened. It was Albert's miracle year. While working at the office, he wrote 4 important papers. He wrote about light. He said light is made of tiny packets of energy. This helped people understand how light works. He explained how very small things move in water. This showed that atoms are real. He wrote his special theory of relativity. He said that space and time are connected. Time can pass slower for a person who moves very fast. He wrote a short paper with a famous formula, E equals mc squared. It means energy and matter are 2 forms of the same thing. A small amount of matter can become a huge amount of energy. These ideas were new and brave. Many people were surprised. Some people did not believe him at first, but slowly scientists saw that his ideas worked. Later, Albert worked on a bigger idea, the general theory of relativity. He said that heavy objects, like the sun, bend space and time. This bending is what we feel as gravity. In 1919, there was a solar eclipse. Scientists watched the stars near the sun. The light from the stars moved in a bent path, just as Einstein predicted. Newspapers wrote, "A new idea of the universe." Albert became famous around the world. In 1921, he won the Nobel Prize in Physics. He did not get it for relativity, but for his idea about light. Still, his name became a symbol of genius. Albert loved music. He played the violin when he was tired. Music helped him think. He liked simple clothes. He walked a lot and enjoyed fresh air. He was kind and friendly. He spoke softly and smiled often. He did not try to look important. He preferred simple words for big ideas. Albert believed in peace. He wanted a world without war. He cared about truth and honesty. He said that imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is what we already know. Imagination helps us discover new things. He showed that you do not need a big lab to have big ideas. A curious mind can change the world. He taught us to ask questions, to think deeply, and to keep learning. Albert Einstein changed science and also changed how we think. His equations are famous, but his message is even bigger. Stay curious, work hard, be kind, dream big. Albert's life began with a small compass and a big question. It grew into ideas that touched the stars. He showed us that one person, with patience and imagination, can help the world see in a new way.
Great job, everyone! Now it's time to learn some new words from our story. Welcome to vocabulary time. Let's look at some words, their meanings, and examples. Argued. Talked in a strong or angry way about different ideas. Example, scientists argued about Albert's new theories. Compass, a small tool that shows direction. Example, Albert was surprised when the compass needle moved. Invisible, something you cannot see. Example, Albert wanted to understand invisible forces. Force, a power that moves or changes something. Example, he wondered what force made the needle move. Strict, following rules very strongly. Example, Albert's teachers were very strict. Curious, wanting to know or learn something. Example, Albert was curious about the stars. Predicted, said something would happen in the future. Example, Einstein predicted that starlight would bend near the sun.
Now it's time to check your understanding. Let's answer a few questions about the conversation you just heard. Listen carefully and try to remember the details. You can pause the video if you need more time. Are you ready? Let's go.
What object made young Albert ask questions about forces? A small compass. Why did Albert not enjoy school? The teachers were strict and wanted him to memorize. What did Albert do at home? He read books, built small machines, and solved puzzles. Where did Albert get his first job? At a patent office in Bern. Why was the patent office good for Albert? It gave him time to think. What happened in 1905? He wrote 4 important science papers. What prize did he win in 1921? The Nobel Prize in Physics.
My dear friend, our English lesson is over today. Active listening will make you progress. Don't forget to practice. You need to practice to become strong. Want to master Learn English? You're missing out if you're not subscribed. I upload new tips and tricks every day that will take your skills to the next level. Subscribe now and never fall behind. Good luck. Goodbye.